There's a moment many of us face, quietly, secretly, when we look in the mirror and wonder, do I really matter? Not because we want attention, but because life has a way of draining our sense of worth. We spend our days trying to meet expectations, ticking off to-do lists, chasing approval, only to end up feeling unseen, unheard, and unsure of who we truly are. Maybe you've been there recently. Maybe you're there now, caught in the noise of other people's voices, the weight of unfulfilled dreams, or the ache of loneliness that wraps itself around your heart at night. But here's the truth. You are not here by accident. You are not a mistake. And you were never meant to build your identity on the shaky ground of the world's opinions. Your worth was sealed long before anyone ever gave you a compliment or a criticism. You were designed with intention. Before time itself began, you were already imagined with purpose. Not just your body, your talents, or your name, but your soul. The real you. The one no one else fully sees, but is completely known by the one who made you. And that truth changes everything. Jesus taught us something revolutionary, not through sermons alone, but through how he treated people. He saw those that society ignored. He restored those who were labeled unworthy. He walked straight into the pain others stepped around. That's not just history, it's your reality. His love still moves the same way. And that love speaks this over you right now. You are not defined by what you produce. You are not the sum of your failures or the highlight reel of your successes. You are enough as you are because you were created in love, for love, and through love. This is the foundation that can't be shaken. Your identity is woven into divine love. That love doesn't fade when you're at your lowest. It doesn't withdraw when you mess up. It holds you fiercely and gently, even when you struggle to hold yourself together. That's the difference between a love you earn and a love that just is. The kind of love Jesus modeled, unconditional, present, and unafraid of your darkness. But here's the tension. Even knowing all this, we still feel alone sometimes. Not the kind of alone where you're simply by yourself, but the kind where you feel invisible in a crowded room, where you scroll endlessly through screens full of other people's lives, wondering if anyone really sees yours. We weren't created to carry that emptiness. And yet, life happens. People disappoint. Pain builds. And the silence around us grows louder. But hear me, your silence has never been empty. It has always been filled with a whisper, a divine presence that never left, even when you felt like the world did. Jesus never promised that we'd always feel his nearness, but he showed us that presence isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet breath, a soft nudge in your spirit, a sudden peace that doesn't make sense in the middle of your storm. That's not your imagination, that's intimacy. True connection with God isn't about performing. It's not about pretending to be perfect so that he'll come closer. In fact, it's the opposite. Jesus moved toward the hurting, the lonely, the confused. He made his home in the places that felt the most abandoned. And that's exactly what he's done in you. Whether you realize it or not, the dwelling place of the divine is not some far-off temple. It's the hidden chamber of your own heart. And nothing can sever that connection. Not your fears, not your doubts, not your mistakes. Nothing. And this brings us to something that most of us wrestle with deeply, our scars. We spend so much energy hiding them, covering them up, acting like they don't exist. We convince ourselves that if people knew the truth about our pain, our failures, our battles, they'd walk away. And sometimes we believe that even God would keep his distance. But again, Jesus taught us something far more radical. It's in our weakness where love rushes in. It's through the cracks that grace pours the strongest. When he walked this earth, he didn't move past people's pain. He went straight to it. He didn't tell the broken to fix themselves first. He reached out in the moment of their mess and offered restoration. Why? Because he saw the beauty in their humanity. He knew their wounds weren't disqualifications, they were invitations. An open door for healing, for redemption, for new life. The same is true for you. Your scars don't make you less. They don't make you too far gone. In fact, they're often the very places where your greatest strength will be born. They are evidence that you've endured, that you've overcome, and that grace has touched your story. And no, the pain wasn't pretty, but the healing will be. Because divine love never wastes a wound. It turns it into a well where others can draw hope. You see, you're not just someone surviving life. You are someone whose life carries a melody, one that no one else can sing. And in a world full of filters, edits, and highlight reels, your realness is your power. Don't hide it. Don't bury your humanity. Let it rise. Let it speak. Let it show others that they are not alone in their struggles, and that wholeness is still possible, even in a world that feels so fractured. So if today you're feeling like you're too broken, too tired, or too unworthy to move forward, I want you to pause and breathe. Let this truth settle deep. You are seen, you are held, and you are enough. Your identity is rooted in love. Your presence has always been accompanied by divine companionship. And your scars are not shameful, they are sacred. They are stories waiting to be told. This is the beginning of your healing. This is the beginning of you remembering who you really are. Not what the world said, not what fear says, but what love says. You are chosen. You are cherished. You are mine. So now that you've remembered who you are, that you are not an accident, not too far gone and never alone, let's talk about something most people overlook. Your purpose. Not the kind of purpose that's attached to fame, followers, or fortune. I'm talking about the divine purpose that's woven into your very existence. The kind of purpose that's present in both big and small moments. The kind that Jesus taught wasn't just reserved for religious leaders or perfect people, but for everyday souls walking through everyday life. Too often we fall into the trap of believing that our lives only matter when they're doing something big. But real purpose isn't measured by impact you can count. It's measured by the love you carry. And the truth is, nothing you do with love is ever wasted. The smallest act, done with intention and compassion, echoes louder in heaven than any grand performance done for applause. Jesus showed us that heaven sees value in the little things. A cup of water given to the thirsty, a word of encouragement spoken to the forgotten, a moment of kindness offered to someone in pain. You may not have a stage or a spotlight, but that doesn't mean your life is small. Your life is a living message. Every step you take, every time you choose integrity over compromise, every time you choose grace over retaliation, you are fulfilling a calling far greater than you can see. But here's where it gets hard: the waiting. Waiting on clarity, waiting on healing, waiting for the door to open, for the right people to come, for the season to change. Waiting can feel like failure. It can feel like punishment. But I promise you, it's not. In fact, it may be the most important part of your journey. Jesus didn't rush the process. He lived with purpose even in hiddenness. He took time to grow in quiet before stepping into his public calling. He taught us through his life that divine timing isn't about speed. It's about readiness. When you're waiting, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something sacred is happening that you just can't see yet. Think of it like this. The roots of a tree grow deeper during the storm, not during the sunshine. That season of delay might be the very space where your strength is being forged. In the silence, your character is being refined. In the hiddenness, your capacity is being expanded. So don't rush through the waiting. Learn in it. Listen in it. Let it make you. And while you wait, remember this: you are still deeply loved. Even when life doesn't make sense. Even when your heart is tired. Even when doubt knocks on your door every night. You are still loved. Not the conditional kind of love that disappears when you struggle, but the unbreakable love that runs to you when you fall. Jesus never looked for perfect people. He looked for willing ones. He never walked away from the broken. He restored them. That same love is with you now, not asking you to fix everything, but simply asking you to trust that you are still chosen, still cherished, and still carried. So today, I want to remind you of this unshakable truth. You belong. Not because of your performance, not because of your perfection, but because you were created, called, and chosen in love. You are not disqualified. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are being guided, even through what feels uncertain. And your life, right now as it is full of value, full of beauty, full of divine potential. You were never meant to carry your pain alone. You were never meant to walk in isolation. And you were never forgotten. The very breath in your lungs is evidence of purpose. So rise, beloved. Rise not because everything is figured out, but because your roots are planted in something deeper than fear. Rise because love is holding you, guiding you, and calling you forward. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment you begin to walk in the truth of who you are, with clarity, with courage, and with compassion. And as you go, may your life speak what your words sometimes cannot. I am chosen. I am loved. I am His.